AFC Bournemouth, led by Andoni Iraola, completed the 2024-25 Premier League season with a club record 9th place finish, amassing 56 points. The Cherries secured 15 wins, scoring 58 goals from Antoine Semenyo and Justin Kluivert in Iraola's dynamic 4-2-3-1 setup. They reached the FA Cup quarter-finals for only the third time in their history, defeating West Brom, Everton, and Wolves, before falling to Manchester City at home. Iraola remains in charge at Vitality Stadium, supported by owner Bill Foley's Black Knight Football Club. Bournemouth strengthened their squad with 18-year-old Serbian defender Veljko Milosavljevic from Red Star Belgrade for £13 million and Alex Jimenez on loan from AC Milan. However, the sales of defenders Milos Kerkez, Dean Huijsen, and Ilya Zabani have raised concerns, with Lille's Bafode Diakite coming in as a replacement. Eli Junior Krupi from Lorient is poised for a debut, and James Hill could break out. With key players like Evanilson, Ryan Christie, and captain Adam Smith, Bournemouth aim for another mid-table finish. Despite worries over replacing Semenyo and veteran Adam Smith, Iraola's tactics and the team's grit could lead to more upsets against top sides. Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta, finished the 2024-25 season with 74 points, as runners-up for the third consecutive year, winning 20 league games but hampered by injuries. The Gunners hit a 15-game unbeaten run from January to February and set a club record 14-match away unbeaten streak. At Emirates Stadium, Bukayo Saka led with 12 goals in all competitions, home and away, supported by Martin Ødegaard with 9 assists. In the Champions League, Arsenal reached the semi-finals for the first time since 2009, defeating Real Madrid 5-1 aggregate in the quarters before losing 3-1 aggregate to Paris Saint-Germain. The season saw no January signings after sporting director Edu Gaspar's sudden exit, and early FA Cup and EFL Cup exits disappointed. Mikel Merino's 7 league goals and Miles Lewis-Skelly's England senior call-up were highlights. Arteta, contracted until 2027, leads Arsenal into their 100th top-flight campaign. Arsenal signed 8 players, including Ebereki Eze for £60 million from Crystal Palace, defenders Christian Mosquera and Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen, and forwards Victor Gyökeres and Noni Madueke, crucial with Bukayo Saka injured, Jakub Kiwior, Fabio Vieira, Reiss Nelson, and goalkeeper Lucas Martin Nygaard went on loan, while Albert Sambi Lokonga joined Hamburg permanently. Captained by Martin Ødegaard, the squad, featuring William Saliba, Declan Rice, and Gyökeres, eyes a title challenge despite injuries to Saka, Ødegaard, and Kai Havertz. Aston Villa, managed by Unai Emery, concluded the 2024-25 Premier League season with a 6th-place finish with 66 points after a final-day loss to Manchester United. At Villa Park, Ollie Watkins led with 17 goals, supported by Morgan Rogers with 13 assists. The Villains reached the FA Cup semi-finals, only to suffer a 3-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at Wembley, and made a memorable run to the Champions League quarter-finals, highlighted by a thrilling home win over Bayern Munich. Key performers included Morgan Rogers, now a Premier League standout, and Yuri Tielemans, named the club's player of the season. Injuries to Boubacar Kamara and Amadou Onana forced tactical shifts, with Tielemans dropping deeper in midfield. Emery remains in charge at Villa Park, now with a capacity exceeding 50,000 after the North Stand redevelopment. The club, owned by Nassef Sawiris and Wes Edens, appointed Francesco Calvo as President of Business Operations, replacing Chris Heck, to drive commercial growth. Villa signed Harvey Elliott on a season-long loan from Liverpool for £35 million, and Jadon Sancho on loan from Manchester United. Yassin Özcan joined from Kasımpaşa for £7 million, while Leon Bailey was loaned to Roma for £3 million. New signings Evan Gisand and Doniel Marlin are yet to ignite, with Gisand ineffective in a loss to Crystal Palace. With Ollie Watkins leading the line and Emery's tactical expertise, Villa aim for European qualification and a shot at Europa League glory. Brentford FC, under head coach Thomas Frank, who has since left to join Tottenham Hotspur, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 10th place, their fourth consecutive top-flight campaign, with 56 points. Bryan Mbeumo led with 20 goals, while Yoane Wissa and Kevin Schade also contributed significantly, with Schade's hat-trick in game week 13 a highlight. The season saw major changes, with the departure of Thomas Frank to Tottenham Hotspur, captain Christian Nørgaard to Arsenal, and key players Ben Mee and Mark Flecken, with Ivan Toney's earlier suspension also impacting the squad. Brentford, now captained by Nathan Collins, face uncertainty after losing Mbeumo, and with Wissa pushing for a move. Andrews, previously Frank's set-piece coach, took over in June, backed by sporting director Phil Giles. The club signed Dango Ouattara, who scored on debut in a 1-0 win over Aston Villa, alongside permanent deals for Michael Kayode, Cowan Kelleher, and Jordan Henderson, who has been pivotal in midfield. Fabio Carvalho and Igor Thiago, both recovering from injuries, are expected to play key roles. With Reiss Nelson on loan from Arsenal, Brentford aim for a mid-table finish, relying on their set-piece prowess and resilience to navigate a tough December schedule, including Chelsea and Tottenham. Brighton and Hove Albion, under manager Fabian Hürzeler, concluded the 2024-25 Premier League season in 8th place, earning 61 points. At American Express Stadium, Danny Welbeck led with 11 goals, supported by João Pedro with 7 assists. The team missed Kaoru Mitoma's dynamism for parts of the season due to injury. The departure of Pascal Gross to Borussia Dortmund in January was a blow, but the signing of Jorginho Rutter from Leeds for £40 million bolstered the squad, with Rutter quickly becoming a fan favourite for his flair. Hürzeler continues to lead, supported by owner Tony Bloom. At the Amex Stadium, the club signed attacking midfielder Matt O'Reilly from Celtic for £25 million and versatile defender Ferdi Kadaolu from Fenerbahce for £30 million, strengthening the squad. Yankuba Minte, now a regular starter, adds pace on the wing, while Danny Welbeck leads the line, with Lewis Dunk still captaining the side, and new signings integrating. Brighton target another top-half finish. Burnley FC, managed by Scott Parker, secured promotion back to the Premier League at the first attempt, finishing the 2024-25 Championship season as runners-up to Leeds United, on goal difference with a remarkable 100 points. At Turf Moor, Josh Brownhill scored 18 goals, and Jadon Anthony got 7 assists in the Championship. The Clarets set English League records, conceding just 16 goals in 46 matches, matching Port Vale's 1953-54 record of 30 clean sheets. They went 33 matches unbeaten, including a 12-game streak without conceding, from December 2024 to March 2025, and earned 49 away points with 14 wins, a championship record. Burnley's first Premier League campaign since 23-24. Parker leads at Turf Moor, now under Ulk Capital's ownership. The club signed 10 players, including Florentino Luis on loan from Benfica for £20 million, potentially a club record fee, and Leslie Ugochukwu from Chelsea for £23 million, the highest fee paid by Burnley. Other signings include goalkeeper Martin Dubravka from Newcastle, Armando Broja from Chelsea, Jacob Bruun-Larsen from VfB Stuttgart for £3 million, and Max Weiss from Karlsruhe SC for £4 million. Outgoings saw goalkeeper James Trafford sold to Manchester City for £31 million, a club record sale, alongside loans for Andreas Hauntonji to FC Street, Pauli and Oluwaseun Adewumi to Cercle Brugge, and Han-Noah Masengo's £2 million move to FC Augsburg. CJ Egan-Riley joined Marseille on a free transfer. Captained by Josh Brownhill, Burnley aimed to avoid relegation, relying on Dubravka's experience and Broja's potential. Crystal Palace, under Oliver Glasner, capped the 2024-25 Premier League season in 12th place, earning 53 points, their highest ever Premier League points total. At Selhurst Park, Jean-Philippe Mateta led with 17 goals, supported by Eberechi Eze with 12 assists. The Eagles made history by winning their first major trophy, defeating Manchester City 1-0 the FA Cup final on May 17, with Eberechi Eze scoring the decisive goal. Mark Guéhi, appointed captain, led a squad hit by Michael Olise's £50 million departure to Bayern Munich and Joel Ward's exit after 13 years, leaving Nathaniel Klein as the last player from their 2012 promotion side. Glasner remains at the helm at Selhurst Park, though his contract, nearing its final year, awaits extension talks. The club, owned by Steve Parish and partners, faced a setback when UEFA demoted them from the Europa League to the Conference League playoff round due to multi-club ownership issues with Olympique Lyonnais. Palace won their first ever FA Community Shield on August 10, defeating Liverpool 3-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw. Transfers saw Ebereki Eze move to Arsenal for £67 million, including add-ons, while Palace signed goalkeeper Walter Benitez, defender Borna Sosa, forward Yeremy Pino, and 9-year-old centre-back J.D. Canvot. A potential move for captain Guehi to Liverpool collapsed due to Palace's inability to secure a replacement, with Brighton's Igor Julio opting for West Ham. With Adam Wharton and Daniel Munoz key to Glasner's plans, Palace target a top-half finish and a strong Conference League run, though defensive depth remains a concern. Chelsea FC, under head coach Enzo Maresca, wrapped up the 2024-25 Premier League season in 4th place, securing 69 points from 38 matches. Cole Palmer led the attack with 18 goals, supported by Nicholas Jackson and Noni Madueke. Key departures included Conor Gallagher's £36 million move to Atletico Madrid and Romelu Lukaku's permanent transfer to Napoli, offset by the £54 million signing of Pedro Neto from Wolves and João Felix from Atletico Madrid. Maresca continues at Stamford Bridge, backed by owners Todd Bowley and Clearlake Capital. The club signed Liam Delap from Ipswich Town for £30 million and João Pedro from Brighton for £60 million to bolster the attack, alongside goalkeeper Mike Penders from Genk and defender Aaron Anselmino from Boca Juniors. Outgoings included Leslie Ugochukwu to Burnley. Captained by Reece James, despite injury concerns, the squad relies on Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Palmer for a top-4 push. Off the back of winning the UEFA Conference League, Chelsea aim for a deep Champions League run, though consistency remains a challenge. Everton FC, under David Moyes, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 13th place, earning 48 points. At Goodison Park, their final season at the historic ground, they secured 24 points from 19 home games, but struggled away with 24 points. Liman Ndiaye led the attack with 9 goals, assisted by Dwight McNeil with 6 assists. Key departures included Amadou Onana to Aston Villa and Ben Godfrey to Atalanta, with Jesper Lindstrom and Jake O'Brien joining as notable signings. Everton's 72nd consecutive Premier League campaign, and first at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium at Bramley Moor Dock, Moyes continues as manager, backed by the Friedkin Group's ownership. The club signed 9 players, including Jack Grealish on loan from Manchester City, who has 4 assists in 2 games, and Merlin Roll from Freiburg on loan. Other signings include Tyler Dibbling from Southampton for £18 million and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Outgoings saw Yusuf Chermiti sold to Rangers for an undisclosed fee. Jared Branthwaite's contract extension to 2030 strengthens the defence, though his hamstring injury is a concern. Captained by Seamus Coleman, Everton aim for a mid-table finish, though defensive depth remains a concern. Fulham FC, managed by Marco Silva, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 11th place, earning 54 points. At Craven Cottage, Raúl Jiménez led with 14 goals, supported by Anthony Robinson with 10 assists, although a 3-1 loss to Everton on May 10 ended European hopes. Key departures included João Palhinha to Bayern Munich for £47 million and Tosin Adarabioyo on a free to Chelsea. Silva remains in charge at Craven Cottage, now featuring the completed £350 million Riverside stand. The club signed Samuel Chukwueze from AC Milan on loan for £25 million and Ryan Sessegnon on a free transfer, marking his return. Outgoings included Andreas Pereira to Palmeiras for £10 million and Jay Stansfield to Birmingham City. Calvin Bassey's defensive solidity and Smith Rowe's creativity remain key, with Harry Wilson impactful off the bench. Captained by Tom Cairney, Silva's high-risk, attacking style aims for a top-half finish, but defensive consistency and clinical finishing are concerns. Leeds United, managed by Daniel Farke, secured promotion back to the Premier League by winning the 2024-25 Championship title, finishing top with 100 points from 46 matches, edging out Burnley on goal difference. The Whites recorded 29 wins, 13 draws, and 4 losses, scoring 95 goals and conceding 30, with Ural Pirouet and Daniel James leading the attack. Key departures included Jorginho Rutter to Brighton for £40 million and Archie Gray to Tottenham for £30 million, with Joe Rodon and Lagi Ramazani joining as notable signings. Leeds' first Premier League campaign since 23-24. Farke continues at Elland Road, backed by 49 Ers Enterprises ownership. The club signed Ao Tanaka from Fortuna Düsseldorf, Isaac Schmidt from FC Street Gallen, and Manor Solomon on loan from Tottenham to bolster the squad. Outgoings saw Somerville move to West Ham for £25 million. Captained by Ethan Ampadu, Leeds rely on Wilfried Gnonto, Bamford, and new signing Ramazani for goals. The squad's youth, including Matteo Joseph and Charlie Crew, blends with experienced players like Rodon and Pascal Struijk. Farke's high-intensity style targets survival and a potential mid-table finish, though defensive depth and goalkeeper consistency remain concerns after Meslier's exit. Liverpool FC, led by Arne Slot, won the 2024-25 Premier League title, finishing first with 84 points from 38 matches, securing 25 wins, 9 draws, and 4 losses, scoring 86 goals and conceding 41. At Anfield, they earned 44 points from 19 home games, while securing 38 points away, scoring in every away match for the first time in club history. Mohamed Salah led with 29 goals and 18 assists, earning the Premier League's Player of the Season, Golden Boot, and Playmaker awards. In the Champions League, Liverpool reached the round of 16, losing to Paris Saint-Germain on penalties. Tragedy struck on July 3, when forward Diogo Jota and his brother André Silva died in a car crash in Zamora, Spain, just 11 days after Jota's wedding. Jota, who scored 65 goals in 182 appearances for Liverpool, was mourned widely, with the club retiring his number 20 shirt. Slot leads at Anfield, backed by Fenway Sports Group. The club has been busy in the transfer market, signing Georgi Mamadashvili signed from Valencia for £29 million, Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen for £116 million, Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt for £79 million, Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth for £40 million, Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen for £29 million, and Alexander Isak from Newcastle for a record-breaking £125 million. Outgoings included Trent Alexander-Arnold, who joined Real Madrid on a free transfer after contract talks failed, Harvey Elliott on loan to Aston Villa for £35 million, and Fabio Carvalho to Brentford for £27 million. Virgil van Dijk leads the squad with Salah, Luis Diaz, and young talents like Jarell Quansah and Connor Bradley. Slot's possession-based style targets a title defence and a strong Champions League campaign, though Jota's loss and Alexander-Arnold's departure pose challenges. Manchester City, managed by Pep Guardiola, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in third place, earning 71 points. Erling Haaland led with 22 goals, including hat-tricks against Ipswich and West Ham. Kevin De Bruyne, Savinho and Ilkay Gundogan contributed with 21 assists. In the FA Cup, City reached the final but lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace, with Eberechi Eze's goal and Dean Henderson's penalty save proving decisive. They exited the EFL Cup in the third round to Tottenham and reached the Champions League knockout playoffs, squeezing through despite poor European form. Key departures included Kyle Walker to Burnley, and Kevin De Bruyne was honoured in his final home game before his contract expired. Ilkay Gundogan returned to Barcelona, while Abdulkadir Kusanov and Vitor Reis joined in January from RC Lens and Palmeiras. Guardiola continues at the Etihad, with his contract extended to 2026, backed by chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak. Bernardo Silva replaced De Bruyne as captain after the midfielder's departure to Napoli, and Walker's permanent move to Burnley left a defensive gap. The club signed Tijani Reinders from AC Milan for €55 million, Rayan Ait Nouri from Wolves for €36 million, Rayan Cherki from Lyon for €36 million, Gianluigi Donnarumma from PSG for just €26 million, and James Trafford from Burnley for €31 million. Jack Grealish was loaned to Everton, and Jan Couto moved to Borussia Dortmund. Rodri, 2024 Ballon d'Or winner, remains pivotal despite a Club World Cup injury, joined by seasoned campaigners Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, and Ruben Dias. With Haaland's goals and Reinders' dynamism, City aim to reclaim the Premier League title, though replacing De Bruyne's creativity and addressing defensive injuries are challenges. Manchester United, under new head coach Ruben Amorim, endured a challenging 2024-25 Premier League season, finishing 15th with 42 points. At Old Trafford, Rasmus Højlund led with 10 goals, supported by Bruno Fernandes with 17 assists. They reached the UEFA Europa League final, but fell 1-0 to Tottenham in Bilbao, missing European qualification for 2025-26. Erik ten Hag was sacked in October, with Ruud van Nistelrooy interim before Amorim's arrival from Sporting CP in November. Key departures included Jadon Sancho to Chelsea and Scott McTominay and Rasmus Højlund to Napoli. Amorim leads at Old Trafford, backed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos 27.7% ownership stake. The club signed Benjamin Šeško from RB Leipzig, Matthias Cunha from Wolves, Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, and goalkeeper Sene Lammens from Antwerp. Outgoings included Højlund on loan to Napoli with a £38 million option, Antony to Real Betis permanently, and Garnacho to Chelsea for £40 million. Johnny Evans retired, leaving United without a Premier League winner in the squad for the first time since 1992-93. Kobbie Mainoo stayed despite loan interest, competing with captain Bruno Fernandes. With no European football, United focus on the Premier League, FA Cup, and EFL Cup, where they suffered a shock penalty shootout loss to Grimsby Town. Amorim's high-pressing 3-4-3, led by Bruno Fernandes and new signings Cunha and Mbeumo, aims for a top-6 finish, but defensive consistency and Mainoo's integration remain challenges. Newcastle United, managed by Eddie Howe, celebrated a historic 2024-25 Premier League season, finishing 5th with 66 points. Alexander Isak led with 27 goals, supported by Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon. The highlight was winning the EFL Cup on March 16, defeating Liverpool 2-1 in the final with goals from Dan Burn and Isak, marking their first major trophy since 1969 and first domestic silverware in 70 years. Newcastle's 9th consecutive Premier League campaign, Howe remains at St James's Park, backed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund. The club signed Lewis Hall permanently from Chelsea for £35 million, Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest for £55 million, Malik Thiaw from AC Milan for £35 million, Aaron Ramsdale on loan from Southampton, Antonio Cordero on a free from Malaga, and Sung-Soo Park from Suwon Blue Wings for an undisclosed fee. Outgoings included Alexander Isak to Liverpool for a British record fee of £125 million, and Matt Targett on loan to Middlesbrough. Bruno Guimaraes captains a squad featuring Dan Burn, Sandro Tonali, and young talent Lewis Miley. Howe's attacking style aims for a top-6 finish and a deep European run, but replacing Isak's goals and managing a thin squad pose challenges. Nottingham Forest, managed by Nuno Espirito Santo, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 7th place, earning 65 points. A 6-game winning streak, capped by a victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers on January 6, marked their best top-flight run since 1979. Chris Wood led 20 goals, assisted by Morgan Gibbs-White and Anthony Elanga. Due to Crystal Palace's demotion to the Conference League for multi-club ownership issues, 7th-placed Forest qualified for the Europa League, their first European competition in 29 years. Key signings included Nikola Milenkovic from Fiorentina for £15 million and Elliot Anderson from Newcastle, while Dean Henderson joined Crystal Palace permanently. Ange Postecoglou replaced Nuno Espirito Santo 3 games into the season. The club signed goalkeeper John Victor from Botafogo on a 3-year deal, defender Cuiabano from Botafogo for a 4-year contract, and 8-year-old centre-back Matthew Orr from Linfield. Eric da Silva Moreira was loaned to Rio Ave, and Anthony Ilanga moved to Newcastle for £55 million. Captain Ryan Yates leads a squad with Gibbs White, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and new signing Igor Jesus from Botafogo. Ange's dynamic style, bolstered by Milenkovic's defensive solidity, targets a top-half finish and a strong European run, though replacing Ilanga's pace and managing a thin squad posed challenges. Tottenham Hotspur, managed by Ange Postecoglou, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 17th place, earning 38 points. Son Heung-min led with 11 goals before his departure, supported by Dominic Solanke and James Maddison. In the FA Cup, they reached the 4th round, losing to Aston Villa, but won the UEFA Europa League, defeating Manchester United 1-0 inches the final in Bilbao on May 25, with Son captaining the side to their first major trophy since 2008. Key signings included Solanke from Bournemouth for a club record £65 million and Archie Gray from Leeds for £30 million, while Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was loaned to Marseille with a £20 million. Son Heung-min announced his exit on August 2, joining Los Angeles FC for £20 million after 10 years, 173 goals, and 101 assists in all competitions. Thomas Frank, formerly of Brentford, replaced Postecoglou. Frank leads at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, backed by chairman Daniel Levy. The club signed Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig on a long-term contract, João Palhinha on loan from Bayern Munich, and Lucas Bergvall from Djurgårdens IF for €10 million. Outgoings included Son to LAFC, Mana Solomon on loan to Villarreal, Brian Gill to Girona permanently, and Mikey Moore on loan to Rangers. Christian Romero, now captain, leads a squad with Solanke, Richarlison, and young talents like Gray and Wilson Odobert. Frank's high-pressing style aims for a top-6 finish and another European run, but replacing Son's leadership and goal contributions remains a significant challenge. Sunderland AFC, managed by Régis Lebris, secured promotion to the Premier League by finishing 4th in the 2024-25 EFL Championship, earning 76 points from 46 matches. At Stadium of Light, Wilson Isidore led with 12 goals, supported by Tom Watson. A late-season slump of 5 losses saw them enter the playoffs. They beat Coventry City 3-2 on aggregate in the semi-finals, and Sheffield United 2-1 the final on May 24, with goals from Eliezer Mayenda and a stoppage-time winner from Tom Watson, marking their top-flight return after 8 years. Key departures included Jobe Bellingham to Borussia Dortmund for £27 million and Jack Clarke to Ipswich Town. Sunderland's first Premier League campaign since 2016-2017, Lebris continues at the Stadium of Light. Backed by owner Kirill Louis-Dreyfus, the club invested heavily, spending over £100 million, breaking their transfer record twice. Key signings included Habib Diarra from Strasbourg for £30 million, Simon Adingra from Brighton for £24 million, Kemsdine Talbi from Club Brugge for £20 million, Enzo Lefebvre permanently from Roma, Granit Xhaka from Bayer Leverkusen for £17 million, and Noah Sadiki from Union Saint-Gilloise for £17 million. Free transfers Reinildo Mandava from Atletico Madrid and Arthur Masuaku from Besiktas added experience, while Marc Guiu joined on loan from Chelsea and Lucharel Geertruida from RB Leipzig. Granit Xhaka captains a youthful squad featuring Chris Rigg, who signed a long-term deal. Lebris's tactical approach, emphasizing triangles, aims for Premier League survival, but blending the new signings and avoiding relegation remain challenges. West Ham United, managed by Graham Potter, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 14th place, earning 43 points from 38 matches. Jared Bowen led 14 goals, aided by Lucas Paquetá's creativity. The season was turbulent, with Julen Lopetegui sacked on January 8 after 9 losses in 20 league games, replaced by Potter on a 2.5-year deal. Key signings included Jean-Claire Todibo, on loan from Nice, made permanent in 2025, while Mohamed Kudus departed to Al Nassr for £55 million. Potter remains at the London Stadium, backed by owners David Sullivan and Daniel Kretinsky. The club signed Callum Wilson as a free agent, Kyle Walker-Peters from Southampton for £15 million, Mateus Fernandes from Southampton for £35 million plus add-ons, Songutu Magassa from Monaco for £14 million plus add-ons, Mads Hermansen from Leicester as goalkeeper, and Igor Julio on loan from Brighton. Outgoings included Edson Alvarez on loan to Fenerbahce, Naef Aguerd, and Emerson Palmieri to Marseille, and Louis Zhao to Pogon Szczecin on loan. Jared Bowen captains a squad with Bowen, Todibo, and young talent Crescencio Somerville. Potter's possession-based style aims for a mid-table finish, but integrating new signings and overcoming a historically poor start pose challenges. Wolverhampton Wanderers, managed by Vitor Pereira, finished the 2024-25 Premier League season in 16th place, earning 42 points from 38 matches. At Molineux Stadium, Jurgen Strand Larsen led with 14 goals, after Matthias Cunha's departure, supported by Jean-Rickner Bellegarde's 7 assists. A poor start, with no wins in the first 10 matches and 9 points from 16 games, saw Gary O'Neill sacked after a 2-1 loss to Ipswich Town on December 14, 2024. Pereira, appointed on December 19, sparked a turnaround, including a 6-match winning streak in March, ensuring survival with 5 games to spare. Key departures included Cunha to Manchester United, Pedro Neto to Chelsea for £54 million, and Max Kilman to West Ham for £40 million, with John Arias joining from Fluminense for £15 million, and Emmanuel Agbadou from Reims. For the 2025-26 season, Wolves' 8th consecutive Premier League campaign, Pereira remains at Molineux, backed by Fosun International. The club signed Yukinari Sugawara from Southampton for £8 million, Andre from Fluminense for £21 million, and Marshall Munetsi from Reims for £10 million. Sam Johnstone arriving from Crystal Palace as the new goalkeeper. Outgoings included Rayan Ait Nouri to Manchester City for €36 million. Toti Gomes leads the squad with Strand Larsen and Arias. Pereira's counter-attacking style, focusing on dribbling through the thirds, aims for a mid-table finish but replacing Cunha's 15 goals and addressing defensive gaps left by Ait Nouri and Kilman pose challenges. And that's it for the 2024-25 Premier League season update. Like and subscribe for more footy history.